Hey, let's talk. Really talk. What happens when your body says no, but the bills keep coming? What happens when your doctor tells you to rest, but your boss expects you to hustle? What happens when you're called lazy, dramatic, or unreliable just for being sick in a world that doesn't slow down? We're not just battling symptoms, we're battling expectations, job insecurity, and a system that punishes people for being chronically ill. And nobody's given us a roadmap for how to survive it. So today, we're going to tell the truth about work, money, and the pressure to function when your body is in dysfunction. We're going to name what's broken, offer solutions, and remind you that your value has never depended on your productivity. This episode is for warriors working while flaring, applying for jobs while fighting fatigue, trying to survive while the system forgets you. You are not alone. You are not lazy, and you are not the problem. I'm Gwen, and welcome to Empowerment and Illness. There's a fear most people don't talk about, and it's not just the fear of pain or flares. It's the fear of losing your job. Not because you're lazy, not because you don't want to work, but because your body keeps betraying the clock and your health doesn't fit into a 9 to 5. For so many chronically ill people, the job isn't just about money. It's about identity, that title, that badge, that sense of purpose. And when your job is suddenly on the line because your body won't cooperate, it feels like you're losing more than income. You're losing who you were. And it's not just fear, it's pressure. You start hiding your symptoms. You push through meetings while flaring. You apologize for taking a sick day, for being sick. You keep trying to prove you're still valuable, even as your body whispers, I can't keep doing this. But let's be clear about something. Having a chronic illness doesn't make you less valuable to the workforce. Millions of people with chronic conditions, lupus, MS, diabetes, arthritis, Crohn's, are already showing up across every industry. They adapt, they lead, they solve problems most people can't even see. Many of us have mastered organizations, empathy, and mental toughness because of our diagnosis, not in spite of it. We are not burdened on productivity. We are proof that resilience is an asset. Employers who understand that gain a major advantage. When we're supported, not dismissed, we thrive. And when we thrive, teams thrive. Productivity doesn't collapse when people are supported. It gets stronger. The truth is, you shouldn't have to earn your worth through pain. If your body forces you to slow down, it doesn't mean you've failed. It means the system never planned for people like you, and you've been making magic out of exhaustion ever since. Your value is not up for debate. You are still whole, even when you need to rest. We're told the Americans with Disabilities Act is there to protect us, that it guarantees us equal opportunity, reasonable accommodation, and freedom from discrimination. But laws don't mean anything if the people in power ignore them. When you're chronically ill and trying to hold down a job, you're often too exhausted, too overwhelmed, or too scared to ask for what you need. You have rights. Legal, job-protecting, health-respecting rights. According to the ADA, the Americans with Disability Act, if you're chronically ill, substantially limits one or more major activity, like walking, working, concentrating, or even sleeping, you are likely protected under the ADA, even if your condition isn't always visible. This law gives you the right to request reasonable accommodations at work. That might mean a flexible schedule, remote work, extra breaks, different chair, or shift in some of your job duties. Your employer is legally required to meet with you to find a solution that works for both you and the company, as long as it doesn't cause serious problems for the company. But here's what most people don't tell you. You must ask for it. ADA protections don't kick in automatically. You need to tell your employer, usually in writing, that you have a medical condition and need accommodations. You don't have to disclose your entire diagnosis, but you need to provide documentation from your doctor. This request should open the door to a conversation, not a dead end. Now let's move into FMLA, the Family and Medical Leave Act. It's one of the most misunderstood protections out there. FMLA gives eligible employees up to 12 weeks of unpaid job-protected leave per year for a serious health condition, including chronic illnesses. But here's where it gets powerful. There's something called intermittent FMLA. That means you don't have to take 12 weeks all at once. You can take a day here and an hour there as your condition requires. This is especially helpful for flare-ups, appointments, or treatment that don't fit nearly into sick days. Let's say you need to leave early every Friday for infusions, or you miss random mornings due to migraines. Intermittent FMLA lets you do that without risking your job, if you qualify. And the good news? FMLA isn't the end of the road. Some states take it a step further with paid family and medical leave, PFML program. They aren't federal, so most people don't even know they exist. Your state may offer paid leave that covers your chronic illness. Yes, paid. These programs vary. Some are more generous, some kick in sooner, some cover part-time or contract workers. But the bottom line is, your state may pay you to take care of your health and still protect your job while doing it. We suffer in silence, scared to speak up, when the law is already on our side. Employers forget accommodations aren't favors. FMLA isn't a loophole. These are legal protections. And when people are supported, they don't leave. They stay. They work better. They bring loyalty and resilience you can't teach in a training manual. So let's say it plainly. I'm not asking for special treatment. I'm asking for sustainable support. I'm not the problem. The system that ignores invisible illness is. I know my rights now, and that changes everything. Let's say it out loud. Being chronically ill is expensive. It's not just the doctor visits or the prescriptions. It's the copays, the labs insurance won't cover, the parking at the hospital, the supplements, the adaptive devices, the unpaid time off, and the extra gas money when your specialist is 2 cities away. It's missing work when you're too sick to function, and then still getting hit with the bill. Chronic illness doesn't just take a toll on your body. It wrecks your budget, your savings, your sense of stability. And the irony? You can't afford to get better because managing your illness is what's bankrupting you. There's a unique kind of financial anxiety that hits when you're chronically ill. You start calculating pain against paycheck. If I go in today, I might end up in the ER tomorrow. If I cancel this appointment, I might regret it, but at least I can buy a grocery. If I tell them I'm flaring, will they think I'm unreliable? If I lose my job, how will I afford insurance? You are constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul, but Peter is your energy and Paul is your bank account. And here's the thing people don't get. Even if you qualify for disability, even if you fight for accommodations, even if you have insurance, you are still paying out of pocket. Because systems are not designed for sustainability. They're designed for survival, barely. You shouldn't have to choose between meds or rent, gas to get to the doctor, or groceries for the week. Resting your body or proving your worth to your boss. Let's say it louder. Being sick shouldn't make you poor. And yet, Many of us in this community have experienced what it's like to go from financially secure to financially scared almost overnight. One diagnosis, one bad flare, one missed paycheck. That's all it takes. Let's stop pretending traditional 9-to-5 jobs are the only way to earn. For people living with chronic illnesses, flexibility isn't just a perk, it's survival. And while the world hasn't quite caught up, you don't have to wait for permission to build income in a way that works for your body, mind, and capacity. Many people in the chronic illness community are crafting creative, sustainable, and empowering income streams, even in the middle of flares, fatigue, and doctor visits. They're not getting rich quick, but they are reclaiming control, and that matters. Some options are freelancing or contract work, selling digital products or printables, print on demand or merchandise, affiliate marketing, coaching, consulting, or peer support. You don't have to do them all. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a place to start that honors your energy, your truth, and your pace. For our listeners' action plan, ask your HR department or union rep if your company is FMLA covered. Visit your state Department of Labor site to check if you qualify for PFML. If you need ADA accommodations, start with a written request and a doctor's note. Keep copies of everything. Documentation is your armor. If this episode helped you, share it with one person who's fighting to keep their job, their peace, or their worth while navigating a chronic condition. Let them know they are not alone and never will be. You are not being difficult for needing support. You're being strategic and protecting your health and your career. Before we leave, I would like to close with a special portion of the show I call Healing Heartbeats. This is where we allow ourselves to wallow in sorrow. Give yourself 3 minutes to laugh, cry, scream, cuss, or just sit in silence. Whatever you need to do to feel it, do it. Let the depression in for only 3 minutes. Once you've reached 3 minutes, compartmentalize it and get back to living. This is a rinse and repeat behavior. You cannot let depression take over, because when it does, it will not let go. When we hear about the passing of someone, they have the day they were born and the day they pass away. There's a dash in the middle. It's not a long line, but a short dash. That dash represents your life. Go live in spite of having a chronic illness. Don't let your condition stop you. Let's bring this full circle. You are not a burden. You are not replaceable. You are not broken. You are a chronically ill professional in a world that often fails to see your strength. But just because the system wasn't built for you doesn't mean you can't build something for yourself. You have value, not in spite of your illness, but because of the fight, clarity, and courage your condition has demanded from you. This week, a woman with lupus reached out to me. She said she wanted to quit her job, not because she's lazy or giving up, but because her manager is a bully. She bravely disclosed her diagnosis, hoping for understanding, and was met with threats of being outed to coworkers and denied a day off for her upcoming infusion. Even worse, her boss told her she could lose her job if she missed a day. She didn't know she had rights. She had never heard of FMLA, intermittent leave. She was scared to go to HR or to the union because she feared retaliation. And that's the conundrum, isn't it? We are constantly forced to choose between our health and our livelihood, between being silent or being punished, between surviving or standing up. This is what chronic illness in the workforce actually looks like, and it is not okay. This episode gave you tools, how to advocate for yourself at work, even when it's hard, how to access FMLA, ADA protection, intermittent leave, and even state-based benefits, how how to stop internalizing shame about the financial toll this illness takes, how to build income strategies that honor your capacity, not destroy it. The world may measure productivity by outdated standards, but here we redefined it. Because showing up with an IV in your arm is productivity. Logging in between flares is productivity. Resting so you can fight another day, that's productivity too. To every warrior who's afraid to speak up, afraid to file paperwork, afraid to take one more blow to their dignity, I see you. And I need you to remember, your job should never cost you your health, and your health should never cost you your job. Remember, you have the strength, the heart, and the support to continue your journey. Be safe.